Trial decisions loom as tension and uncertainty rise in the courtroom showdown.
Sexual assault of this little girl.
Just like we saw in Idaho. I mean, I don't know. It's much different. We just saw this happen. It's probably they're taking one out of that playbook and trying to work out a deal for him.
Yeah, I mean, both sides here, Al, were asking for this continuance. It wasn't just the defense, both sides. Usually this date has been set. The judge did not give the full continuance. He only gave a week. What are your thoughts about what's going on here? Is it really just time to prepare for this trial?
It's definitely they're coming up with some sort of a universal settlement to this matter. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that that's what they're doing. If they were not doing that, the prosecution would not be consenting or making a joint application for the extension. Obviously, they don't have a problem putting forward their case in the sexual assault aspect of this with the phone coming in. I mean, the case is solid. But the question is on the next aspect, the murder case, whether or not, there may be some cause for pause that they may be having, that they're saying, you know what, we can wrap this whole thing up. We can get a guilty plea.
Well, here's the thing. They want a guilty plea. We want something different. Sabrina, thank you so much for the one guilty of crime membership. Whoever got it, that means you can be able to win a Foxy box. All right. Now, April Overshare says not pregnant according to the autopsy, but I wonder if she had ever been. I don't know if that's ever going to come out. I don't think anyone's ever going to say it. Beth Toller peed off about the plea, left guilty of crime, member for 9 months. Thank you so much. All right. And I did put a link to get memberships. I don't think the mods saw that. If you guys can drop a link to the memberships for everybody, that would be great. I just put one up, but I'm not sure if you saw that. Okay. Somebody fairly asks, is he going to take a plea deal? What do you think? With all of the evidence that we now have out there and the motion to suppress denied, do you think he's going to take it? Yes. You know why? Because his team is the one that proposed it. The defense is the one that scheduled a hearing for Monday to discuss the plea deal. All right. And yeah, absolutely. I can't put that up there too long, what it says, but Prof. Yes, I don't think Maddie was pregnant. I think Stephan tried to, and then it went too far. All right. This is Kawasaki. Here's the thing. He was hoping that the illegal search and seizure of his phone and contacts worked in his favor. If it worked in his favor, we would not be seeing any kind of plea deal at all. All right. What's up, Ellie Kelly? Good to see you, my friend. All right. Let's keep going. This is what you're going to expect on Monday. Defense has no defense.
In both, and then we can move on. So
Okay.
I think that may be the situation in this instance.
Darnell, the first charges are a life sentence. I don't know what his defense is. Like, they're going to take the images from his phone and let the jury look at them, and it's a little girl being...
Yes, little misfit, a plea deal. You say, is it a plea deal or is he going to change his plea to guilty? That's what a plea deal is. That's what this plea deal is. His defense filed for a hearing to discuss a plea deal for him to change his plea to guilty. He already pled not guilty. Now he wants to go and say, I'm guilty for the CSAM stuff. What can you offer me? All right. So those two things are exactly the same. We're all saying the same thing, a plea deal to change his plea to guilty. Now, we can't unhear that, unfortunately, because if he doesn't take it, we're like, wait a minute, he already said he's guilty. How could he not be? And how can we go to trial when we know that? So why would they wrap it in the second charge? I don't understand that. I don't think they're wrapping it with the second charge. I think those implications are happening, but we haven't heard that yet. And his brain injury result is not back until August. So if they were to have the trial next week, it's a huge appellate issue. All right. Prosecution doesn't have to offer a plea deal and the judge doesn't have to accept it. You're absolutely right. And that's why we're speculating, guys. Do you think now that, okay, here's the question. Do you think the state is going to accept the plea deal that the defense is offering? Thank you, Nat, for the one guilty of crime membership. Thank you. Len, don't forget to get your membership. That way you can be you could be a winner. All right. All right. You say he's not going to plead. He's a narcissist. Narcissists never take accountability and they never admit they're wrong. They blame it on the victim. He even said it to his parents. He didn't start it. All right. Let's keep going. Here's what to expect on Monday and why.
Sexually assaulted, both in still images and videos. And it's his phone, it's his genitalia, and it's a little girl. And it's over the course of years. Life sentence. If he gets an offer of a life sentence or 2 consecutive life sentences, I don't know how he could turn it down. Like, because at the other end is the death sentence. Do you think there is a potential deal at work here?
Well, there's always a potential deal at work. The prosecution is saying that.
You have a prosecutor who believes in using the death penalty for punishment rather than for a tool.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So a lot of these prosecutors, we've covered this on these shows where the prosecutors will start to negotiate and not man up and take it straight to the gate, as they say. In this particular case, first of all, let's not get confused with a motion to suppress to say that because that was denied, that means everything is coming in. Because as lawyers, as a prosecutor, you have to be able to move evidence in, and that takes some skill in how you move it in, when you move it in. So just because the judge didn't suppress it doesn't mean it's going to be moved in, right? And so when the judge says, listen, it's unusual to deny a joint application for continuance. He said that. He said, but I'm going to do it.
See, he denied it and said we're going full force. Everybody's sweating bullets, including the prosecution. They didn't know. They barely got a motion to suppress denied right now. But again, they did testing for a TBI and it didn't come back. So I think they're using bargaining chips here, guys. And it sucks that it's being used as a bargain chip. And I really hope that we're able to hear ultimately the things that we need to know to feel like we got closure. But if I never get closure, as long as Maddie gets the justice she deserves, and Jen, I don't know what's going to happen with Jen Soto at this point, how it's going down. I don't know. I can only speculate, but it's not good. We're not going to see her at the courthouse. I'll tell you that. Only the depths of ocean could satisfy me. Bottom scam of the seafood. All right. I think he's trying to delay the case because this is why it's not already available. But they're looking to. I don't think that's going to delay the case here. Okay, listen, real quick. Listen, what's going to happen? Monday comes. Defense comes in. State comes in, and it's like they're going to have a discussion about the plea. They're going to use their bargaining chips. If it doesn't work, the trial starts the next day on Tuesday. Then by July 25th, they will have the jury and trial will start full force on Monday. All right. So this is not going to delay the trial. If it doesn't get approved, it's go time on Tuesday. And that's why I think this plea deal is going to go through on Monday.
I'll give you some trial concessions later. He's saying that I don't like what's happening here either. We're going to move this thing either to a settlement or we're going to try this case. But I'm not going to have you guys closing up and doing some things that I don't support. So that's what I got from that. Now, in terms of
It's just
whether in fact there's negotiation here, the death penalty is the ultimate. And a lot of people politically don't like it. Al doesn't like it. So if they can say, hey, you're going to die or you're going to take life in jail?
Yes. Are you going to die or take life in jail? Are you going to go on the death penalty and not get weekly hot meals? You're not going to get your root beer barrels. You're not going to get your play with your origami. You're going to be in this cell by yourself for 23 hours a day, which he already is now, but he has people that are across the way he talks to. PJ Vision, shout out to PJ Vision, everybody. That's a Dolly's lady. There's Dolly Vision and there's PJ Vision. She says, I knew he would plea. It was him and his defense that brought up the plea deal. So you're right. You're correct. He wants to plea. Now we need to find out from the state if they're going to accept, and then they negotiate and then they'll come together. That's what's going to happen on Monday, guys. If it doesn't go down Tuesday, trial starts, jury selection begins.
It is a negotiating tool. And so they can do a global dispo for the murder and that. One life is one life. These pleas where you have sentences where you have 10 lives just don't make any sense. You only get one. So a natural life is, if he gets that, that's it. Not the 40 or 60-year life. that some state has.
No,
It's a natural
This
life.
is real. You do the time in Florida. Florida, unlike other states, you do the time. You get the sentence, you're going to do the time. Al, you were scowling.
It's interesting. Nancy Jean, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. Lead prosecutor was to resign after this case. The case is short. The state is shorthanded. They asked to continue last week, but they weren't ready to go. So that's why I'm wondering, is it a combination of being shorthanded? And remember, guys, a lot of the people in their department also got busted for racketeering. I don't know who or what level of law enforcement. It wasn't his defense team, but it's still a big part of the law enforcement that got arrested for racketeering, including Marcos Lopez. So I wonder if any of that affects any of the other ones. And yes, please do not attack others in chat. I don't even know what's happening, but we do not attack others for a difference of opinions. Please and thank you. Carolina Hurtado says, Jay, remember I told you last week the state was going to offer a plea deal at the very last minute in Florida. Experience told me it was going to happen. Thank you. Yes, I do. There was a lot of people that speculated that and a lot of people that speculated the opposite. And yeah, shout out to PJ Vision and say hello to Dolly for us. Say hello to Dolly and PJ. You can attack me now. Roar. Now, we don't want to attack anybody. Right? This is so bizarre that it already transpired from it. It makes me wonder if they actually know what they're doing. I think so. I think they had a real staking suspicion by the time they were in court. That's why we're even talking about it.
I believe.
No, it's going on because the aspect of it. I mean, it is a tool, and it is a tool that should be used effectively.